What's up, watchers and watch geeks? I'm Connor. This is One Too Many Watches, and today we're talking about a 3-watch collection that you could have for about 500 bucks. And today they're all going to be Seikos. Alrighty, so the first watch we're going to be talking about today is a watch that really needs no introduction. It's on my wrist. I'm sure you could have guessed this was going to be in the list. It's the Seiko SKX007. The Seiko SKX007 or 009 are absolute classic watches. Most watch people either have or will own one at some point in their collecting lifespan. I'm sure you've heard of the watch before, but I can't make this list without recommending it. So the Seiko SKX is one of the most probably trusted and reliable kind of beater watches out there, which in a $500 collection you're going to need something that you could wear and really bang around, and you might want something that you can get wet. With the 200 meter water resistance, never hesitate to go swimming with this thing. You can get it on the metal bracelet, which I prefer. You just have to size it right and it'll fit great. Or you can get it on a rubber strap and save a little money. I don't like the one that it comes on, so I would just recommend probably replacing it. If you had the budget for it, throw it on a crafter blue strap. Those are the best. So just to run down some specs on it, like I said, 200 meters water resistance. Never hesitate to take it in the water. 42 millimeter case size. It is on the larger. You could go down to an SKX 13, I forget, 0013 or 013, whatever it is. That's the smaller one. But most people, the 42 millimeters is going to be fine. It's a 22 millimeter lug width, so put it on whatever strap you want to wear. Put it on a bracelet, upgrade the bracelet, but to fit it into this collection, I'm just saying buy it as is. So the movement on the Seiko SKX it's a basic one. It's the Seiko caliber 7526. Yeah, I'm reading that because I can't remember any of these numbers. It's a Japanese movement. Well, I think most of these are made in Malaysia, the cheaper ones. But I think the movement is made in Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's got the Seiko mineral crystal on it. That's the Hardalex mineral crystal. It's fine. You can upgrade that to a sapphire if you want to, but standard is fine. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can say about this thing. It's been talked to death. Everybody's aware of it. If you want more info, look into it online. There's a million reviews of it. But yeah, so the first watch on this list is going to be the Seiko SKX007, and that comes in from anywhere from $180 on the strap to $200 on the bracelet, which I'm recommending on the bracelet. Alright, the next watch is going to be more of a dress watch, something you can kind of dress up, not as casual. It can be worn pretty casual, but I would definitely say it leans more towards the formal side, which in a collection, you need that. You know, it's something you can go to, whether you're going to a wedding, you're going to a nice event, you know, just something nicer for work. This is going to fill that spot in your collection. The watch I'm talking about is the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SRPB 43. So it's the newer Cocktail Time, not the classic one that has been changed over. It's the SRPB 43. It doesn't say automatic at the bottom, it says Presage. So the Seiko Cocktail Time is another kind of cult classic watch that's been talked about a lot, but it's the go-to watch in my opinion for a Seiko dress watch, especially for the price point. So this watch you can lock down on eBay right now. It's new, it's gray market, so there's always a risk involved buying there, but you can get this watch as low as $268 right now. So this watch is kind of a step up from the SKX in a lot of ways. Number one way is in the movement. This is the Seiko caliber 4R35. It is hand winding, whereas the SKX is just based on movement to wind. You can manually wind this rotor. It has 41 hours of power reserve, 23 joules. I don't really care about the joules. Thought I'd mention it. Yeah, stainless steel case, Hardalex crystal again. It has a see-through case back, so you can look at that movement. Seiko movements at this price point are never something fancy, but it is cool. just to look at that. If you're a watch nerd like most of us are, it's nice to see what's going on in there. 40 millimeter case, about 12 millimeters thick. It's a great dress watch size in my opinion. I like my dress watches at about 36 to 40. I know it's a big range, but this is still on the good side. It's not too big like some of these modern fashion watches are. It's a good size. Water resistance is about 50 meters, I believe. So it's not something you're gonna go swimming with. Don't worry if you splash it. You know, you have the protection there, but don't go swimming with this thing. So yeah, this is the watch that in your $500 Seiko collection is gonna fill that dress watch spot. One caveat I would say about this watch is the strap that it comes on is absolutely terrible. It's this kind of pleathery thing. I would swap that out. You could buy one cheap. For the sake of this video though, you are just buying these watches standard, but I'm definitely going to recommend you swap that out. Alrighty, so the final watch I'm going to be talking about is kind of an everyday casual wear watch. It's, you know, something you could go swimming with if you needed to. You could even dress it up if you wanted to. So it kind of plays both sides. It's a good middle between the SKX, you know, kind of your beater or your rough watch, and the cocktail time being your kind of fancier dress watch. It's a perfect in the middle, in my opinion. And that is the Seiko SNK807. This is the blue dial field watch from Seiko. Why I fell on this, there is another Seiko field watch that you might consider, but we don't have a lot left in our budget to fill this 3-watch spot. And this is a great watch regardless of price. This is a good watch. It's a field watch. It's an everyday casual. You can, you know, throw it on a rubber band, go hiking, go swimming if you need to. It's 100 meter water resistance, so it's got the durability, and it's also, it can be dressed up a little bit with the right strap. So this is a Seiko 5, so it's kind of it's really the baseline as far as Seikos go. It's not a hand windable movement. It's just off of, you know, kinetic energy winding the rotor. But don't let that stop you. I never had a problem with it. If you wear your watches a lot, it's not going to die in between wears if you wear them enough. But if it dies and you need to go and just slap it on the wrist, give it the Seiko shuffle, as they call it. But yeah, don't let the movement stop you. There is the clear case back, so you can see that rough basic movement. It's not much to look at. It's not a looker like the cocktail time is a step up from this. But it is cool to see. I always recommend this to my friends if they're looking for their first mechanical watch. This is kind of that go-to watch. So case size on this one is 37 millimeters. It's small if you're a bigger guy, but for most people it's a great size. You hardly even know when it's on the wrist if you have the right strap. It's very comfortable. You can slip it inside of a cuff if you need to. A pretty versatile size. Alrighty, to go back over some specs, so we have the Seiko Caliber S26, that's the Seiko 5 movement, 40-hour power reserve, 150 meters of water, 150 meters of water resistance. So definitely splash proof. Wouldn't go diving necessarily, but you could go for a swim. Doesn't have a screw down crown, but that's okay. 37 millimeter case size with an 18 millimeter lug. Sometimes I wish it was 20, but 18's fine. Alrighty, so that's the last watch in this collection, and that one's coming in at about $68. It can be a little less. That's why I went with the blue dial here, guys. There's a black dial that's great, and I actually kind of prefer, but for the price point, the blue dial is more readily available to keep us in that about $500 price range for all 3 of these watches. So yeah, guys, that's my opinion on what could be the best $500 watch collection, 3-watch collection, and they're all Seikos. What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm going to do the $500 collection with some other brands maybe, if I can even find some watches that all fit in there. Yeah, that's the video for you guys today. Let me know what you think.